Pops, you was always a black king, Pops. This time I talk about it. And even though your heartbeat stopped, I still feel you when I rock. It's time I talk about it. And I don't wanna say that you're gone. Your presence around me, you're strong. It's time I talk about it. I had to put your name in a song. I had to put your name in a song. It's time I talk about it.
Welcome back to Champagne and Pete Podcast. This is episode 2, taking the pussy off the pedestal. I'm Jermaine.
Hey. I'm Brian.
Antoine, aka Sexy T. All right, so we had a long hiatus. Well, we want to say thank you everyone for tuning in to the first episode, Surviving Pandemic Relationships. We appreciate the love, support, donations that came in. Much love. We really appreciate that. As you can see, we were able to step up our production, so keep them donations coming in. Right. But like I said, we took a long hiatus to record episode 2. We probably would be on episode 5 by now, but we had something real tragic happen in the family. And with that being said, we're gonna send it over to my brother Brian.
Yes, sir. And yeah, it's always tough to speak on tragic events when those occur in your life. But I recently lost my father. My brothers also had the same situation last year. Yep. And so the support system has been great. When you have people in your corner that have experience with those types of things, it makes it easier to grieve and easier to get through it, let's say. But no, rest in peace to my father, man, Stephen Linnell Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Cheers to that, King.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to my father. And that's tough to deal with, especially around the holiday season.
Yeah. We are just coming right off of Thanksgiving.
Right.
Right off of Thanksgiving. So
it was my first Thanksgiving without my father, so it was tough. But he ate with us. I mean, everything was great, and I appreciate all the love and all the support throughout that time. So
absolutely.
It's been great, man.
Cheers, King. Cheers, King. And we got a special guest in the building today. He may or may not get on the podcast. King Frio's in the building. Say what up, King Frio.
Say what up, King Frio.
What up, guys? What up? I'll catch you guys on the next episode. I don't know too much about this Pedestal thing.
Did you say pedal pussy? What was it? I don't know nothing about the pedal pussy.
Yeah.
All right. So the topic this episode is titled "Taking the Pussy Off the Pedestal," and with that being said, we had a lot of lead time up to this episode, so we got to talk to other people that we respect, other friends or whatever, just to get their take on the title itself, taking the pussy off the pedestal. And we're going to start with sharing some of those opinions of other people outside of the podcast, and we'll just talk about what they had to say. So shout out to Brandon Johnson from Serial Chillers. Him and DJ Inferno was doing cryotherapy, and they were there, and we chopped it up, and I told them about the podcast. And when I told them the title of it, this is where they went with it. They both agree that if you take the box off the table, you eliminate half of the female population because they have nothing else to offer in a relationship. So, hey, how do you feel about that? Do you agree with that, or?
A little bit, because I can't speak for all women or all dudes, but what I can say is for myself and like my generation, that's at least 95, maybe the 98% of what women are offering nowadays now, because they're using their perception as their reality, because they see other Instagram followers, this, that, and the third, Quavo, Sway, Lil Baby, they see that all the money, oh well, all she had to do was just bust it open, I can do the same thing, like, we don't know what she had to do to get Quavo or any artist or athlete. So it's like
we can assume.
Right. So we're just gonna assume everything, because then if we're gonna based off assumption, then we can say like at least half of these women's box is trash. Like right off rip, if we talking about that. If a woman gonna assume that you got money because you flossing one night, we could assume that her box is trash.
Right. It's all about the pH, man. They keep eating all these Takis and all that Rotel. I mean, how much y'all afraid of on Rotel and eat? It's a pineapple, baby. All that Rotel, I can tell. No, man. I mean, the thing is, I mean, we really fucked up the game as men. I mean, not saying us, I'm just saying men in general, because we've been treating these little EBT divas, the little baby backwood, like they're a supermodel. They got the yams, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got the yams, but it's likely scams, because I mean, in reality, she's eating ramen noodles and Takis, and you know what I'm saying?
Her pH is way
And
off.
also- and
We can
that's-
assume.
Right.
You can assume,
Yeah,
but-
that sodium high.
I mean,
High
today's
cholesterol.
society, the
Yeah, high
saturates
sodium
a lot
diet.
of these girls are way off in a lot of areas.
Like I said, that's more
Okay.
of my generation.
Okay. So let's see. Okay.
Sean, what you got?
What do you agree? Do you agree or disagree with Inferno and Brandon on if you take the box out of the off the table? If you eliminate pussy off the table, you eliminate half of the female population because none of them have anything else to offer.
I'm not gonna get in on the statistics and shit, right? but there's a lot of women out there that's all they got to bring to the table is pussy. And we'll get into that a little later on, right? Because when you're dealing with a high value man such as myself, right? I can get pussy from a lot of different places, right? So I don't need you for that, right? So what else do you bring to the table is kind of the question that I bring in. When that question is posed, you get a lot of, well, I can cook. Well, I can do that too. Probably better than you. Right? So it's
Shots fired.
I'm just saying, y'all see my Facebook, y'all know I get down.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know what the number is, but you're right. A lot of women lead with the pussy and think that's enough to get a man. Maybe enough to get, the hood rich nigga, the nigga that's selling drugs and that money's gonna be gone tomorrow. But a true high value man who's a hustler can get out there and get money from different streams. We need more than just pussy to keep us interested.
Okay.
Big facts.
Okay. So, a friend of mine, she says that when pussy is not a priority, men usually become better men when pussy is not a priority.
Yeah,
How y'all feel about that?
she is 100% correct on that. I'm gonna tell you why. What's the one thing that most women say to you? I bring the table. And you look at it and be like, how you bring the table if I already had a table?
Yeah.
So if I have everything, like my one question to most women, what's your 5-year plan? If they 5-year plan sound like a 1-year plan, baby, this conversation is dead to me.
What's the 1-year plan?
1-year plan could be like, well, I'm looking for a new job or a new career, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what you gonna do after that?
Yeah.
Oh, they looking shocked.
Mm.
You're not trying to build on nothing after getting that new career.
Mm.
So you're not
Well,
building
because a
on.
lot of girls are relying on that Instagram.
Thank you, and that's
the
the problem.
OnlyFans, the girls that we're putting on a pedestal are
My
eating
point.
ramen noodles and setting up an OnlyFans profile. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
But it's like
you gotta understand, like, you can't keep overrating all these girls you see on these platforms, man. They're just showing their
That is correct.
assets. They're not showing what they're really worth.
Hey.
They want you.
I'm
Figure that out.
gonna tell you who's a prime example of what she's talking about. Gucci Mane's wife. He gave her $2 million. She flipped that while he was gone and made damn near 10.
Mm.
What woman's doing that now?
Mm.
Let's speak facts. What woman's doing that right now?
Sounds like Gucci Man's wife is.
Right.
But I'm just saying, but like when you're down on your luck, your woman's supposed to at least flip the bread that you got rather than blowing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't blow that $2 million.
She shouldn't be on Fashion Nova and Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. She,
Blowing all your
So
bands.
that like her, while Gucci was gone,
yeah. She took it.
he trusts her enough and loved her enough to be like, hey baby, look, I'm gonna give you this $2 million. Flip it, at least 4.
Well,
And she basically doubled that.
okay, that's good that she did that, right? But I'm sure that was by his guidance and leadership, don't you think?
But we
He didn't just give her just $2 million.
But I'm just saying she already had money. And the fact that she already had businesses beforehand.
Okay.
Before she even met Gucci, she already was a millionaire before Instagram was popping like it was.
Okay, so how did she turn 2 to 10 million?
Investments and really putting in extra work on her property.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So you're
let's-
saying that pussy belongs in the pedestal?
We're on to the next round.
like you
It's
have,
Survivor Island out
like
here.
you have to improve on what's going on. Because if you just sit there with the money and you don't do nothing, it's like I just gave you some free money just to look at.
Yeah.
If you're not trying to increase our wealth into futures, because if we all have kids, you think I'm gonna at least have my kids to have a better education and better schooling and better like career-wise and a mindset that like, all right, my father's, or like for me, I don't have no kids, but like in the future, I would like to have kids just to see like my father did that and put some game in my head to the point where it's like I can flip it and like anything's possible. Even my own mom flipped that money. Rather than my mama talking about, oh well, you know, he was in the streets doing this, that, and the third. Downplaying the man by himself.
Okay.
It's already hard enough to be a man in society right now.
So, and like
Especially
Antoine
a black man.
said, yeah.
Yeah.
So like Antoine said, that pussy belongs on that pussy belongs on a pedestal. Or what I would say in difference to that is that Gucci Man himself, he didn't put the pussy on a pedestal.
Right.
When he put their future, their legacy on the
Yeah.
pedestal,
Yeah.
the bigger picture on the pedestal,
Yeah.
because he's in prison. He's in prison, right? He was in prison.
Right.
Like there ain't no putting no pussy on the pedestal in that regard. You know, it's like we're literally talking about ranking pussy higher in priority than anything else, right? So
Right.
he wasn't thinking about that at all because there's nothing he can do inside. So he's like, okay, take this bread, yada yada yada. And she took it and flipped it. So that's a. Are they still married? I don't know.
Yeah, no, they have.
But you know, teamwork make the dream work.
Facts,
You know what I'm saying?
facts. Shout out to teamwork. Shout out to real marriages. That's that's pushing the agenda forward.
Right.
Okay, so there is another perspective from a homegirl. She says that you can't take the pussy off the pedestal because pussy is a part of a woman, and a woman belongs on a pedestal because she's a queen.
Well,
Go ahead.
all right, so I agree with the whole queen thing, but here's my problem with the pussy being on the pedestal, right? The whole thing about the pussy being on the pedestal is assuming that the man is not there with you, right? You know, we need to be equals at some point in time. If I'm expected to provide and do all these other things, I'm gonna put just your pussy on the pedestal while I get nothing, right? I'm supposed to chase you. I'm supposed to set up all the things. I'm supposed to pay for everything, all right? And all I get in return is the pussy.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
right? You know, right? So my
Because
problem
I
is
mean, that's the expectation that we set in today's society. I mean, the game has been totally fucked up.
yeah, we gotta change the game,
With
right?
the way
Period.
Because
that we approach women and all that shit now. It's like $40, and I'm like, "Look, bitch, I got $40. You know, it's just ridiculous.
That's not even a pedestal. Like $40. Like, come on, man. I spend
Hey,
more than
look
that
at
on fucking Chipotle when I get. Anyway, so King Frio, what do you feel about taking the pussy off the pedestal?
I mean, that whole concept, I'm still trying to get the whole pedestal thing. Is that just like your agenda? Is that what the pedestal
I mean,
is?
okay, so just it's
Or like the concept of having
well,
sex with
we all have
women?
our own like individual perspective of what this is going to mean, right? I have a
Okay.
completely different perspective from everybody here. So
Yeah.
just off the title alone, and based on your understanding of the title, what do you feel about it? What's your response to it?
I mean, like when I go to look for a woman, it's not. I'm gonna lay in bed with her. You know, it's is she going to be achieving and hitting the same goals and mindset that I would be?
Okay.
I'm not here to babysit a woman into whatever success she's going to be. I'm going to follow and walk side by side with her to where I have to go.
Okay.
You know, it's like what I told Brian the other day. It's like I was out in New York and chicks out there are more assertive.
Yeah.
They'll like tell you what's up. You
Yeah.
know, like I've had females buy me drinks at the club. I've had females like, hey, I want to go out to lunch or this and that.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like it depends on the area and then the spots you're finding all these women. Because I mean, if she's just tossing out pussy, that's my red flag. Like I'm gonna back up because then that gets expensive for me. You know what I mean?
Well,
You know, so I mean,
Placing the
it
premium
just
on the pussy.
depends on where you're at. But then also you got to know the difference between like girls and women. You know, like there's men and then there's boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's where we need to figure out like who we are as individuals, and then go seek out those other individuals. You know, if your mindset is I'm only gonna get laid, you're only gonna get laid, and you're gonna deal with all the consequences after. If your concept is I want to find a woman that I could grow with and do a lot with, then you gotta start searching from there. You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree.
So I mean, that's the way I see it on that whole concept. Because when I look for pussy, it's gonna get expensive, and I'm not trying to do all that shit.
Okay.
So you're talking.
So Antoine came up with the topic for this, and I had a whole lot to say. So y'all gotta go back and listen to that first episode if y'all haven't seen it, because I was saying that I had a whole lot of shit to say. This episode about taking the pussy off the pedestal, and it comes from my year and some change of dating or being single and then dating. So my perspective of this whole taking the pussy off the pedestal is this. It comes from this perspective. I have two perspectives actually. One is a dude who prioritizes getting pussy over other responsibilities. And that type of dude, kind of like what you were saying, like there's consequences that follow that. So that type of dude is gonna lose money, he's gonna lose opportunities, he's gonna, just a lot of wasted time after a certain extent when you're just putting pussy as your goal. For, that, what the fuck type of man are you, so to speak, not respectfully. Okay, cool. And then the other, my true perspective of taking the pussy off the pedestal means this, and it comes from my recent dating experience. Is plural, but in short, it means you are not, the woman is not more important than me in the relationship or the situation.
But that's been common practice throughout the history of,
Sure.
everywhere.
Sure, but it ain't my practice no more. It's not part of, like, I'm not gonna put some woman that I just met, not my wife, whatever, and even my wife, you're not gonna be more important than me. The level of importance, you're not, because you have a pussy.
Right.
You're not more important than me because you have a vagina. Like Twana said, or like Brandon and Inferno said, like, if you take pussy off the table, what else do you have to offer?
Right.
So what do you bring into the table outside of the sex? You know what I'm saying? Because your sex, like, you got sex, I got sex too. You know what I'm saying? I'm throwing some, stop playing.
You got sex.
Stop playing. You ain't don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
I'm the one that's gonna get you wet. I'm the one that's gonna get you off. Stop playing. I'm the one that's gonna put in overtime. You know what I mean? I'm the one that's gonna take you
Sleep
from,
like a winner or sleep with a winner. You know what I'm saying?
say, it's the merch. So the woman is not more important than me in a relationship. So for me, that's what it's almost a metaphor here. I'm taking the pussy off the pedestal, because when I hear that, that means it's like we're placing the pussy or the woman as,
Almighty,
yeah, like she's more important than everything. And you would have to tell me why she's.
Because there is a lot of cornballs out here that have been doing it. It's destroying
Yeah, this is
society.
why
saying?
those dudes you're talking about,
You know what I mean?
cornballs,
So it's
most of
like-
those dudes be married and their women are cheating
Right.
on them, treat them like simps. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you just go after every beck and call, you're just a simp. You're just doing whatever. They walk on you like you're a doormat.
Yeah.
The woman's not gonna respect you after a while. You're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not putting your priorities. You're not placing the value on yourself. She ain't gonna, who the fuck is gonna respect that?
Hey, real talk, I just seen that recently. Lately at this function, and this girl came to have a conversation with me and some other cat. We talking, mind our business. She pulled up on us, and he sit on the outskirts, just waiting for his turn. I'm like, you want to get in the conversation? It's like you come on, bro. Like, don't be scared.
Yeah.
You just sitting here looking goofy. I said, boy, she fine as she fucking somebody else. You may not know, but she fucking somebody else.
Right. All this coochie cheddar.
No,
Coochie cheddar.
it's cornballism in the world right now, and social media is tolerating that dumb shit.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of shit.
These memes and Instagram influencers, I'm telling you, look.
Stop it. Like, okay, so let's just go down this logic here with, let's put the pussy on a pedestal, right? So all this theoretical pussy that's on a pedestal, you want to know where they're getting most of their information from? Is memes and reality TV. So you're letting, and this is not all women, respectfully, all women are not this fashion. Some women actually have a logical standpoint or whatever, and just are level-headed in some regards, and they don't look at memes as principles of real life. You know what I'm saying? They're not basing
Girls that actually read books, you know what I'm saying?
which is not many.
But they have common sense though.
But if we're like, okay, so we letting the women, these emotional women that are led by fucking memes and reality TV, and emojis and gifs, like these, we're letting them lead, we're putting them on a pedestal because they have some wet vagina, and some of it is not that good, some of it is not even wet, some of it is just deadly, for that matter. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Some of it's deadly, like.
You got some 1,000 ways to die pussy and shit.
Like, come on now. Like, I'm not gonna put you on a pedestal just because you have a vagina. Yes, like I'm a man. My nature is, and I'm a heterosexual man. To clarify all of this shit. Like, I want a woman. I want to be with a woman. You get what I'm saying? But you're not more important to me. First of all, I got a kid.
Right.
So where's your level of importance come before my kid? No, not really. Not really at all. You know what I mean? But if we're dating, if we get to marriage, and it's different. Like me personally, like it's God, me, my motherfucking kid, and if I get a wife, then she gets put into the equation.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be because you have.
So
a
the thing
pussy.
is, I mean, can you put a queen on a pedestal? You can't. You know, so once you're officially a queen, you don't have to worry about where your pussy stands on the pedestal level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you're treated in a certain
Right,
fashion
you're
already.
already
Like
a queen. That's when you have emerged.
so you've elevated. Shut up.
You're going to the next one. On Survivor, Coochie Chatter Island.
Hey, think about it like this. Think about the game of chess, right? The queen is the most powerful piece on the chessboard. But you don't win the game until you get the king in check.
That's true.
Right?
Oh.
So the king is the key to win the game, right? But the queen is the most powerful piece on the board, right? So if you think about it, right, you need both in order to win. You need your queen in order to win, but you can't win the game without making sure you box that king in, right? So the king needs to be on the pedestal because he's the prize. He's the nigga that gets you where you need to go, right?
Talk that shit.
I've been quiet over here for a minute.
Sexy
I'm
T,
gonna
talk that
for
shit.
a minute 'cause
Talk that shit.
I've been a dude in my life that I've been putting the pussy on the pedestal, you know?
Yeah.
And y'all niggas know where that got me, you know?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and ever since I've been to a point to where, like, I'm gonna pour into myself and put me first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, all the shit that I was looking for in my 20s, all the bitches I was chasing and didn't get, all the pussy I didn't get because of, you know, right? All the money I wasted, right? It just falls to me. I don't even have time for it now because it's me, it's my kids. Those are my priorities, right? And it took me a long time to realize that. And I think you kings out there, when you realize that you are the prize and that you put yourself first, everything else falls in line. And then you can put that queen on the pedestal and she earns her title as a queen. But the problem is all these women want to be that queen before they get that king. You can't be a queen without the king.
And all you women ain't wifey material just because you got a pussy. I'm about to get my toxic tape moment up. All y'all is not wifey material because you got a good job or none of that shit matters to a real king. Like, it matters, but it's not a determining factor.
Message.
Like if you want to be with a king, like it's about how you make him feel and how you help elevate him on his path and on his purpose. Because a king already knows his purpose. He's not a boy. He's not out here wandering, trying to figure shit out. No, he's on his path. And you can get with the program, and it doesn't mean you're being disrespected. It doesn't mean you're being ignored. It means a lot of things, many things. You're going to be secure in that relationship. You're going to be protected in that relationship. You're going to be at, you know what I mean? So just because you're a woman does not make you wifey material. Just like because you're a man doesn't make you husband material. You got to elevate to that motherfucking level, period. And it doesn't mean because you got the good job. Like, stop it. We're adults. My daughter's 16. She got a good job, so to speak. Doesn't matter. It's about where your head is at, where your heart is at, you know what I'm saying? And the big picture you and that person set up for your relationship, period. We're not about to get married just because you want to have a ceremony. That's not a reason to get married.
Hey, you know,
Baby girl, worry about where your head is at.
hey, wait,
Where your heart is
hey,
at.
the realest shit I ever heard was from a homeless person. I'm on a train, and he was just telling people, love thyself, and I'll love you better. And I was thinking, I was like, motherfucker, I love me, right? But then I started thinking to myself, it's like, if I could never get in, why I'm not in a relationship now is because I don't love myself. If I don't love myself, how the fuck am I gonna love the next person better? better than the previous person.
Period.
It's real ass shit.
And so, like, out of all people,
Yeah.
a homeless person on the train just talking.
But sometimes that's when you get the most gems, the most
Right.
games.
You might have been entertaining an angel. You never
But
know.
that's why they always say
that.
that never judge a book by its cover. and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when he said that, and I had asked him, I was like, "What you mean by that?" He said, "Do you love you?" Right? I said, "Of course I do. You know, I travel this, that, and the third, whatnot."
Yeah.
And he said, "So what about the next person? Do you love that person? And how would you know that other person love you? Because you can love that motherfucker as long as you want. That motherfucker don't love you. They just show signs." He said, "Just be observant. Watch this little shit knick-knacks where you be like, yeah, nah, I ain't feeling it. Like, why she ain't doing this or why he ain't doing this on this day? Like, if you used to go on our walks on Saturdays, all of a sudden that one Saturday he like, nah, I'm good. Motherfuckers gonna be looking mad confused, like, the fuck just happened?"
The behavior change, the pattern
Right.
change.
So once that pattern gets to going out of course, you're gonna have to question yourself. Either is it me or is it him or her? Same vice versa. You know, just at least love yourself first, because then people's gonna appreciate you more as a person.
Right. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I think about loving yourself. Like, what does that really mean, right? What does it really mean to truly love yourself? You know what I'm saying? So we know the term self-care. So we see that shit all the time now. So it's like a trending topic now, and it's usually marred by a bunch of videos or pictures of people eating food or going to a fucking spa day or a meme or some shit like that.
Eating a seafood boil together.
Right.
Mimosas and seafood boils.
Right.
Mimosas and seafood boils over
Right.
here.
We get you know, but
Like,
Going to a
sometimes,
drag brunch.
sometimes like loving yourself is actually forgiving yourself
thank you.
for past mistakes that you made, right? Some stuff like, so let's say you made a mistake in a past relationship that you don't even have the opportunity to correct it anymore because it's done and over it, right? And some people will internalize that shit, like, damn, they guilt themselves so much, right? They'll guilt themselves so much that their behavior will start to reflect that they don't deserve love because they did something wrong. But no one's perfect. So you gotta forgive yourself so you can free yourself of all that guilt or mistakes and failures or whatever, and then be like, okay, yeah, I messed up. Let me get back to loving myself right. So I won't make that mistake anymore, because that's something that it caused something to happen in my life that I didn't want to happen. So I don't want that to happen again. You learn the lesson. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta forgive yourself. You know what I'm saying? Me and Antoine, our father, like, he wasn't always there when we grew up, and I watched him as I became an adult and had my own kid. Like, he kept beating himself up for not being there, and I told him, I'm like, listen, dude, you matter. Like, you can't stop. You can't keep drinking yourself to death, so to speak, to beat yourself up, like, because that doesn't correct anything. Like, I'm here now as a grown man. I got a kid. Like, you're a grandfather now. Let's embrace this stage and phase where we're at and move forward. Forget about the past, because there's nothing we can do about it. But he died, and I'm sure he carried a lot of fucking guilt. You know what I'm saying? Because he had 6 biological kids, and he wasn't always there for most of us. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, and this is my humble opinion and my limited experience of life, it's like you gotta forgive yourself. Period.
Sure, okay.
Yep.
Seriously.
Hey, Gucci Man said it best. He said, if I keep looking back, eventually I'm gonna fall front, going forward.
Yeah.
And I was like, basically gonna trip over yourself, and you ruin your own blessings moving forward because you still looking in the past.
Facts. Okay.
There's a lot of people that lost their blessings because they still going back to the same habits and the same bullshit beforehand, and yet they still tolerate that shit. Why? Because they still don't love themselves.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna talk about no pussy on the pedestal and none of that. All I'm gonna say about these modern day girls is they really let the GDs in the dough. They don't let the GDs in the dough. You know what I'm saying? They're better off to let them go. I'm gonna tell you like this, because man, these newer females are just way different.
I'm telling you,
There's
it's
like there's no love involved.
It's
No
my
genuine love involved.
it's my generation. And I mean, people that I grew up with got kids right now, and they look at me sideways because I don't got none. I said, I like to travel. I like to not calling for a damn babysitter every fucking night. Talking about, yo, I got a trip we gotta go to. You know, can you watch Little Junior? No,
It's freedom in that.
Yeah.
right? And they don't realize that because all they see is what they see in their environment. And like, I had to move out of my environment to see, like, I don't really need no damn kid.
No.
Cause I'm the type of dude that's like, you fuck with my kid, I'm ruining that motherfucker's life. That's point blank period. That I'm not gonna play about the kids, because the kids, half of these
Well,
kids.
shit, nobody's gonna play about that.
But I'm just saying, but half these kids wasn't even like, didn't want to be born. You don't know that, and yet they popping
None
out.
of them wanted to be born.
So back to what Brian was just saying about like these new age girls, like, and the funny thing is, Brian, it ain't even just necessarily new age girls. Like, it's just some women that's older that still think like some of these new age girls, not necessarily like letting the GDs in the door, but like
They
They don't let the GDs in the door.
this is so back to like my dating experience. It's like a bunch of self-centered women. Like, you need to chase me, like entitled. Like, these women are entitled as fuck, as if like I have to chase you. I have to be up underneath you. Like, what type of nigga do you want to be with? Like, that's not my style. That's not my steez. I'm not gonna chase you down, and that doesn't mean they compare real men to their fucking memes, all these goofy ass memes that they share. Like, if you don't do this, I don't want you. Yeah. Like,
Good.
They got like the 10 man commandments now.
yeah, and it's all goofy shit. Y'all need to stop all that goofy
This
shit.
girl's got like all these qualifications for you to like be acceptable to them.
And this is the deal. Listen, I'm gonna ask all y'all women, when y'all watch this shit, y'all can comment in the section. Here's the question I wanna ask all you women that wanna be in a relationship with a man and you think you should be put on a pedestal and all that. Okay, what does it benefit a man to date you? What does it benefit a man to date you? If you can answer that question, then you're the type of woman that should be wifed up.
Hey, look.
Get that queen position.
Right.
But if
you have to
can't-
move to the next round.
But if you can't answer it, if it's all like surface level bullshit, then you gotta really take some time to evaluate your true value and what you, because relationships are about partnership. This is what the fuck I've learned or had the revelation in my singleness after my last relationship. It's about a partnership, right? And in a partner, when you love someone, that means you serve them. You know what I'm saying? So like, how are you of service to this person that you love? And if you're in this mentality that you're on a pedestal, then you're looking to be served. You're not serving anyone.
Jermaine Mario, he eats cereal. Songs that I wrote with my dad at 2 years old. A bittersweet memory of your gentle soul. You was born on 12/5 in the freezing cold. Firstborn to my mother was Krista Nicole. Then it came me and my brother Twan. And I'm feeling strong, but my heart is hurting. Cause I know you're gone, but you're up there working. And even though you was a crack fiend, Pops, you was always a black king, Pops. This time I talk about it. And even though your heartbeat stopped, I still feel you when I rock. It's time I talk about it. And I don't wanna say that you're gone. Your presence around me is strong. It's time I talk about it. I had to put your name in the song.